One, two, three, funky.
Hi, I'm Maddie. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be my most highly requested video ever, and that is how I edit my YouTube videos. I would like to say a big fat disclaimer: I do not edit every single one of my videos the exact same way because that would be super boring. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing the steps that I take to edit each video, as well as some of my most commonly used effects. And I would like to mention that I do edit with Final Cut Pro. So I think that's all I needed to say, and let's get started. First, I'm going to be talking about the very basic steps. The first thing I do is create a separate event for each one of my videos so I can keep my video clips organized for each project. Then I create a new project for the specific video I'm working on. This particular video is my productive day in the life vlog, so I am curating the title just how I want it. Next, I go up to the import button and import all of the clips that are needed for that video. I know that these first few steps seem pretty basic, but I just am trying to give you a complete picture of what the editing process looks like. Once all of my footage is completely imported, it's time to actually start editing. So the first thing that I do is go and copy and paste my intro. So since this is a Vloglist episode, I am copying in my Vloglist intro. This is what I was talking about when I was referring to video templates in one of my past YouTube advice videos. But this just makes the editing process so much more easier because I'm not creating a new intro for every single video. All I have to do is type out the title of the video like you just saw. So then it's time to actually start putting footage into the timeline. There are several different ways that I sometimes go about this. Sometimes I put all of the footage in the timeline at once. Sometimes I edit clip by clip. In this particular vlog, I wanted to sort of edit clip by clip, but I do use the rough cutting technique. So what that means is I am just cutting out what I know I for sure do not want in the video. So for vlogs, this could be awkward moments of silence, too many filler words, or just flat out boring footage. Anything I know without a shadow of a doubt I do not want in the video, I go ahead and get rid of it because I just don't want to think about it anymore. And while I'm doing this, if there are any particular moments where I know there's a specific edit that I would want on that, then I will go ahead and do that edit so I don't forget about it later down the line. But I do go back through and do a more tedious fine editing process later. This is the part that takes the longest. This particular rough cut took me about an hour to complete, but I'm going to talk through some of my basic editing techniques during this time. One important thing when it comes to rough cutting is to not delete any potentially useful footage. In the case of this video, I thought that I was finished, but I did not have a video that was around 10 minutes, and as you know, that's the magic number. Luckily for me, I had not deleted this coffee talk clip, so I went back and fully edited it. This is why I think that rough cutting is so important. You are not spending time fully editing clips that you're just going to wind up deleting, because if the video is going to be just as entertaining or more entertaining without that clip, then there's no point in keeping it in. But if you think that it's going to add entertainment to the video and the video will be fine leaving it in, then why not have it in there and get the video as close to 10 minutes as possible. First, let's talk about text. So the main font that I use is the Helvetia Bold Italic. I will put it on the screen what it's called, and I do that in white with a black outline. And then if I want like some emphasis when the text pops on the screen, I will use the computer clicking sound. Or if I just want it to be subtle, then it'll pop up on the screen really fast and then go away. I find that text is a very underrated way to edit your videos. A lot of people just jump straight to like the fisheye effect, which, don't get me wrong, I love the fisheye effect. But text is a great way to sort of have something visually interesting happening on the screen without it looking over edited. In this clip, I wanted the time to pop up so the viewer could understand the context of the clip a little better. Another text effect that I like to use is putting the Bad TV video effect on the text so it moves and wiggles around like it does in my intro. Now let's talk about the good old fisheye effect. I use this so much. So to do this, you want to section off just the part of the clip where you want this effect, because obviously you don't want it on the whole clip. And I normally pair this with the alien voice effect, so that's what I'm searching up first under the video and audio effects tab in Final Cut. So I add the alien voice effect and then the fisheye video effect, and then I move that little center point around on the video until I find a spot that looks good. And honestly, I just kind of eyeball it. There's no specific measurements that I use, but I just think that's a really funny set of effects to pair together, and I use it so much. Moving on to the effects that I use so much, the cropping section. So I use both the traditional crop, the Keyburns crop, and just plain old transform so much. So the Keyburns crop is the classic one where it starts in a larger or smaller frame and then moves to the opposite. So here you can see I'm starting with the full frame, and then it's going to slowly, or rather actually quickly since it's a short clip, move in on my face. And of course, the classic coffee edit, the drinking one sound effect. Honestly, I absolutely love the Keyburns effect, and I think it's a super easy way to add tons of visual interest and humor into your videos. Another effect that I have really been loving recently is the handheld effect. So this one allows it to shake around a lot and kind of look like a bunch of mini Keyburns crops are happening all at once, and I find this a very easy way to get the moving around motions without having to do like 20 different Keyburns effects on one clip, and it has saved me so much time in editing. I am sure that you've all heard of the good old traditional crop, but let's not overlook it. It's a great way to again add a lot of visual interest and humor to your videos. I personally like to use the crop when something is funny or want to emphasize a point. This next effect I consider a spin-off of the Keyburns feature, and it is where the frame gets smaller and smaller and black sort of surrounds it. You'll see what I mean here in a second. So the first thing that I've done is select the part of the clip that I want to do this to, and in this case it was a little long, so I made it faster. Then I went over into the video and audio effects and searched up echo delay, just because when the clip's getting smaller I kind of just think of it being like a tunnel and echoey. So then you want to go to the transform tool. You want to move your cursor to the very beginning of the clip and click the middle button in the top left hand corner. Then you want to slide your cursor all the way down to the end of the clip. I recommend enlarging your timeline so you can get very close to the end of the clip. Then you want to make the clip as small as you want it. I like to do mine pretty small so the movement is faster and more visually appealing. Then you want to click the farthest left button in the top left hand corner, and then the clip will be animated and you get this effect, which I think is super funny. I'm going to briefly go over how I make my skateboarding montages just because I think that they're interesting and they pop up in literally every single one of my videos. Even a video on how I edit they pop up in. So to do this, I normally just get one clip of me skating and I chop it up so you don't see the camera like moving around when I'm pushing off, and you just sort of see the pretty clips of me skating. However, in this montage, I decided to spice it up and also get some full body shots of me skating to make the montage a little more interesting and different than usual. Again, I use the same splicing techniques, and I just normally make the clips 1 to 2 seconds long, so there's a lot of movements. You guys know people's attention spans are so short, so the shorter the clip, the better. Let's talk about some audio and the noise reduction feature. So if there's a lot of background noise, let's say wind or the car, I would recommend cutting on the noise reduction and cutting it down to about 43 to 42%. This gets rid of any unwanted background noise that could cause the viewer to not be able to hear you as clearly. And I also making sure that there are no red bars in my volume and very minimal yellow bars. I have found that if you try to crank your volume too high in editing, when you go to watch it on YouTube, it just sounds terrible. Once I get done rough cutting, I normally like to sleep on it. Quite literally, this is the next day. So after I'm done rough cutting, I like to head over to my YouTube folder in Finder and go to the background music and sort of start seeing what this video is going to look like. So since this is a vlogless episode, we're using some of Eric's Riprards, I don't know how to say his last name, music. It's pretty hype, you guys already know. So then when there are the montages, I will go ahead and splice the music accordingly. During my vlogs, I don't like to have background music when I am talking, but definitely for the montages, it totally brings the video together. Now, I normally do the outros once I get the background music in. I don't like to do this during the rough cutting phase just because, one, I probably don't have the outro yet. I'm the CEO of filming outros after the video is partially edited. So for the outro, again, this comes back to video templates. I have my thumbs up icon, subscribe, and bell icons all saved in my video templates project in Final Cut. So all I have to do is simply copy and paste them, add the computer clicking sound in the appropriate spots, and the outro is good to go. But I also add the end card, which is where the videos and subscribe button pop up at the end of the video. So yes, you do have to make this on your own and add it to the end of the video if you want to have a clean space for those things to pop up on. I would highly suggest that you create a 20-second end card to go at the end of your videos, because if I'm being honest, if I watch a video where they have these icons popping up without having made an end screen card, it just looks amateur. It does not look professional. And as I've said so many times on my channel, being professional is so important as a small YouTuber. So go ahead and do yourself a favor and make an end screen card for yourself. Also, go ahead and have your icons saved in your editing software so it'll make editing so much faster for you. If you're wondering how I animate my thumbs up icon, I used the transform tool like I animated the clip from earlier, except I just turned it side to side instead of shrinking it. Next, I go to the very beginning of my video and start adding all of the little meticulous edits that I want to do. So these are things that are going to make the video more interesting, but they weren't things I originally thought of during the rough cut phase. Looking at your project with a fresh set of eyes will help you see a whole new world of opportunities when it comes to editing. And I like to have a lot of edits in my videos just for visual interest and to keep the viewer entertained for longer, because as we all know, watch time is so important. So I'm just going to skip through all of this because I'm just using the same effects and techniques as I've already shared. The last thing I wanted to mention before ending this video is once you have done all of your meticulous edits, I would highly suggest that you go back and watch your video all the way through at least once or twice before uploading it into the YouTube studio to making sure that there are no editing errors or additional edits you would like to make, because it's so annoying to watch your video on YouTube when it goes live and notice all of the errors. So do yourself a favor, do this in the editing process so you don't have to go back and fix any mistakes after the fact, because that is super annoying. After you finish editing your video, you're literally almost there. You just have to export the file to your computer, make a thumbnail, and then upload both to YouTube so everyone can see your finished masterpiece. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below something you learned from this video, and be sure that you're subscribed and have the bell turned on. That way you'll be notified every single time I upload a new video or go live. All of those things really help my channel grow, and I'd appreciate it so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast.
It's not about personality matrixels and charts. It's all about the bumps in your heart.